Hi, I'm Marthel Neville, and you're in the Strategy Room. Donald Trump's latest campaign web video is raising some eyebrows as the GOP frontrunner tries to tie Hillary Clinton to a slew of scandals. The video claims to show what Clinton really thinks of women's rights. Let's take a look.
Women's rights are human rights, and human rights are women's rights once and for all. Let's keep fighting for opportunity and dignity.
Here now with reaction are Professor Jeanne Zaino from Iona College and Tom Basile, former executive director of the New York State Republican Party. Welcome to both of you. Jeanne, I'll start with you. So what's your reactions to the video?
You know, I think strategically, this is something that could help Donald Trump in the short term as he looks towards the primary, because it certainly will appeal to primary goers and caucus goers who tend to support Trump. That said, in the long term, it is not a winning strategy for Donald Trump, and certainly not for the Republican Party. This will cost them votes in the general election. And beyond that, I think it does raise real questions. For instance, can you hold Hillary Clinton responsible for the transgressions of her husband? And also, this is very old news. There's almost nobody on the planet who is going to be shocked or surprised that Bill Clinton was impeached, that he had affairs out of, when he was married to Hillary Clinton. I mean, none of that is surprising. So I don't think this is something that Donald Trump is going to benefit from in the end. But in the short term, and he's playing short-term ball here, I guess, it could benefit him.
What do you say, Tom?
Well, you know, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And Donald Trump, who has really gotten sort of a free pass from a lot of his Republican opponents, and certainly from the Democrats, about his own interactions with women. And we know that there have been a number of issues where he has said degrading things to women. So he's got to be very careful about dragging that up. I happen to agree with Jeanne. I think that this is a type of ad that can make Hillary look like a victim, not necessarily like what they're trying to do, which is say, you know, she surrounds herself with all of these really dishonest people, and she's very disingenuous. But she can look like a victim in the eyes of these independent voters, which are important for the GOP come the general election. And it's a very shallow attack. It's not substantive at all. And you have to be thinking about what are those independents really looking for in a general election candidate. So again, a lot of over-the-top, sort of shallow rhetoric out of Donald Trump, but not something that's a good strategy.
And let me clarify, Tom, you're saying that the video could possibly make Hillary Clinton look like a victim, as if Trump perhaps is picking on her.
Trump is picking on her, and also to Jeanne's point that there are certain instances where she necessarily can't be held responsible for some of those actions of those other people, like Bill Cosby, for instance, who was featured in the video.
Yeah, and I would just say there is a school of thought out there that the Clintons benefit from this, number one, coming out early, and number two, as Tom mentioned, coming out of the mouth of Donald Trump, who himself has had transgressions involving women. And we know, going back to the first debate with Megyn Kelly and the questions that were asked, you know, this is somebody who has run pageants for his whole life. You know, there's a lot there on Donald Trump when it comes to treatment of women. And so there is a school of thought that, to get back to the conspiracy theory that Jeb Bush likes to talk about, that all of this helps Hillary Clinton as opposed to hurting her, and it really does hurt the Republican Party in the end and make it really difficult for them to win the general and hold the Senate.
Tom, I'll give you the last word. So what do you think in terms of the fact that President Clinton is not responding?
Well, I think that that's a smart move on their part, and that is to just say this is Trump being Trump. He's being ridiculous. He's being outrageous, and it's not. These are not credible attacks. This is not really a serious person that you want behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office, and we're not going to respond to these types of attacks.
So, are you considered part of the Republican establishment, and perhaps you don't like Donald Trump as a candidate?
No, I think that what's important for the Republicans is to find a candidate that can win the general election, because winning the primary doesn't actually get you anything.
And you don't think Trump's the guy?
Well, I think that Donald Trump needs to run a far more substantive campaign than running it like a television show.
And I have to leave it there because I started with you. I have to end with Tom. in fairness. Okay, Jeanne Zaino and Tom Basile, thanks a lot. And check out foxnews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. I'm Marthel Neville. Thanks so much for watching.